Hey guys, welcome back to Team Death Slinger. My name is Peter, and today we're back in DM trait. We're looking at version 5, the new Raidenmon Ace is out, and the new Datamon level 5 that provide some tools for this deck to stand on its own legs a little bit more without the Machinedramon crutch cyborg identity. So let's get into it, starting with our eggs, 4 copies of EX9 Pagumon. When attacking, you can trash this Digimon's bottom face down source so that it can evo into a version 5 trait card in the trash with cost reduced by 1. Just a nice cost reducing evo egg like every DM trait has, helping you get up your line efficiently. Onto the level 3s now, 4 copies of EX9 Gazimon. This is our dedicated searcher. On play reveals top 3 as a DM trait card to hand and tucks a version 5 trait card as the bottom face down source of one of your DM trait Digimon. The rest go bottom. This does a couple things for us. Gives us a retalent inheritable for our blocker sub theme in this deck, and it also adds a face down source to a DM trait Digimon. That's great for Machinedramon because we care about face down sources for our protection on our Digimon. So being able to place extra face down sources under Machinedramon can go a long ways. We're going to run 3 copies of the EX9 Biyomon. Has training, has raid. The Tuskmon in version 5 also has raid, so this doubles up on that inheritable, which is going to be really effective for Machinedramon being able to swing into things. And then we have a couple of inherits that will let us get security for our trouble. So great pair with the raid. We are going to run 4 copies of EX9 Elecmon as well, also has training, and then your turn, all your opponent's security Digimon get minus 3k. When we get wide, eventually after we're done controlling the board, this is going to help us get our smaller bodies in for safer checks. We also don't have much DP boosting in this deck, so it's also a great way to keep your level 6s safe in case the opponent has any big bombs in security. For our level 4s, I want 3 copies of EX9 Raremon. End of your turn once per turn by placing 3 Digimon with the version 5 trait from your trash face down as this Digimon's bottom sources. It can evo into a Digimon card version 5 trait in the hand or trash. This matters so much more now that we have the Raidenmon Ace being able to force the evo into a level 5 at the end of your turn so that your opponent cannot swing recklessly without risk of hitting the Raidenmon is huge. So 3 copies of this card is plenty. And the on deletion here, de-digivolve 1 on one of your opponent's Digimon. A great way to punish the opponent if we can get a blocker on the board and they actually get through it while we're getting to de-digivolve you and then hopefully be able to get rid of you. We're going to run 4 copies of EX9 DarkTyrannomon. Has training. On play when digivolving, place a card from your hand face down as this Digimon's bottom source. For each of this Digimon's face down sources, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Then one of your Digimon may attack one of your opponent's Digimon. That's going to be fantastic with the Machinedramon because that can allow us to activate any on-play effects from version 5 trait Digimon that we tuck underneath it. So we can get this on play and use it to actually let our Machinedramon do some swings if we have to plop it down or something. On deletion, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers. Great inheritable to have. And then we're going to run 3 copies of the EX9 Tuskmon. Has training on when digivolving and when attacking by placing 1 card in the hand face down as this Digimon's bottom source. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 4k or less. Also gives us that raid inherit that we talked about with Biyomon. Doubling up on it, it just feels good. For our level 5s, we're going to be a little bit level 5 heavy. All of these are technically tools for our Machinedramon to use because for one reason or another, we can tuck them under the Machinedramon and use their on-play effects. So we have BT22 Datamon, blocker on play when digivolving until your opponent's turn ends. Their digivolve effects don't affect this Digimon, and you get 1k for each of your face down sources. The de-digivolve protection on Machinedramon feels really good. It has protection from leaving the battlefield, but de-digivolve is a great way to answer it still. So this is a nice protection tool you can use when attacking on your Machinedramon to make sure that it can't be removed until your opponent's turn ends, hopefully. We have an inheritable here that says end of your opponent's turn. You may choose one of your opponent's Digimon. Your opponent attacks with the chosen Digimon. That's going to be great for threatening the Blast Ace, and it pairs really nicely with the Raidenmon that we're trying to run in this deck. We're going to run 3 copies of the EX9 ExTyrannomon. When any of your version 5 trait Digimon would evo into the card, for each of their face down sources, reduce the cost by 1. This feels really good as soon as you get that cost reduction to 2 or more. Has Fortitude. On play when digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Then by trashing this Digimon's bottom source, return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon at the lowest DP to the hand. Great removal tool for removing your opponent's bodies, especially in single stack decks. And then our inheritable says all turns once per turn when this Digimon deletes your opponent's Digimon in battle, trash their top security card. That pairs really nicely with raid, believe it or not. By swinging into the opponent's Digimon, we just punish them for playing things and we get rid of their security relatively safely while we're at it. We are going to run 3 copies of the EX9 MetalTyrannomon. You can trash a Cyborg or version 5 trait card from hand to reduce the play cost of this card by 2, so you can plop her down for 5. And then on play when digivolving, by placing a Digimon from your trash face down as this Digimon's bottom source, one of your opponent's Digimon gets de-digivolve 1 for each of this Digimon's face down sources, and then delete something 3k or lower. Also has a piercing inherit, so this along with the raid is also a really nice combination. And then having that de-digivolve available to us when attacking for the Machinedramon, if we tuck this underneath, is also an excellent tool for us to be leveraging. We do have 2 copies of the EX9 Andromon. When this Digimon would be played by trashing a Cyborg or version 3 trait card from your hand, reduce the play cost by 2. And then on play when Digivolving by placing a Digimon card from your trash face down into the Digimon's bottom source, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3k until the turn ends, plus 2,000 for each of this Digimon's face down sources. Gets up to 7 or higher very, very easily. It is a great way to make some bodies smaller when we try and swing with our Machinedramon. Also gives a blocker inherit, which actually, believe it or not, comes up quite a bit because Machinedramon does not have blocker on its own. So this is a fantastic inheritable to have underneath our Machinedramon stack. Speaking of Machinedramon, here he is, 4 copies of the man. I understand this is a secret rare. If you really need to, you could go 3 copies of the Machinedramon and 4 of the Raidenmon Ace, but for the purposes of this video, focusing on version 5, we're going to say 4 copies of Machinedramon. On play when Digivolving, when attacking, by placing a level 5 Cyborg or version 5 trait card from your hand or trash as the Digimon's top source, activate 1 on-play effect on the place card as an effect of this Digimon. So that's what we're talking about when we talk about using the on-place of our other bodies here. That is from the Machinedramon effect here. All turns when this Digimon would leave the battle area by trashing its bottom 2 face down or cyborg trait sources. It does not leave. More often than not, we will focus on those bottom 2 sources being face down. The cyborg trait doesn't come up as much because it is just our MetalTyrannomon and our Andromon. There's only 5 of them in the deck. I guess we do have technically the Raidenmon Aces, but we would not want to tuck that underneath or be pitching them because of the overflow costs. So this is our primary boss monster, and it allows us to effectively recycle a lot of these devastating on-play effects, and then is a sticky body with protection. We are going to run 3 copies of the BT22 Raidenmon Ace. Such a fun card. Has collision and blocker. On play when Digivolving, you may unsuspend 1 Digimon, then you may suspend a Digimon. This gets a little bit tricky, especially when you have more than 1 version 5 trait Digimon, because all turns once per turn when any of your version 5 trait Digimon suspend, de-Digivolve 1 on one of your opponent's Digimon. So the really nice thing here is that you can Blast Ace when the opponent attacks, unsuspend a body, block, and then you can de-Digivolve whatever your opponent's attacking with, and hopefully you are blocking that body, so you can get some value there, and it just becomes a really obnoxious threat for the opponent to have to deal with. So really like this card, especially with this version 5 core. We're going to run 2 copies of the BT9 Attack of the Heavy Mobile Digimon. You may trash a card with Cyborg or Machine in its traits in the hand to have all of your level 6 Digimon with Machine in their traits gain Rush. And on play, if this Digimon has a Digivolution card, Blitz for the turn. Really cool things to think about with this card. First of all, it costs 0, so that's awesome. As long as we can plop down this Machinedramon and win the game, it does not matter what we pass the opponent to. They can get 10 memory for all we care. We are going to use the Attack of the Heavy Mobile Digimon, plop down the Machinedramon with Rush, and then because we can choose the sequence that we resolve our on-play effects with, we use the on-play here to place a level 5 Cyborg or version 5 trait card from hand or trash underneath the Machinedramon, and then we can use the on-play Blitz and swing in for game. So nice way to secure our win after controlling down the board and get some value out of this 0 cost option. We're on 4 copies of Meat as our primary searcher. Just lets us draw 1 and then delay Evo into a DM trait card. Also lets us put face down sources underneath that Machinedramon, so keeps it sticky and annoying. We are going to run for Tamers 2 copies of the ST15 Tai Kamiya. It is a memory setter, which I find is really, really crucial for DM trait decks. And then when attack targets switch, by suspending this Tamer, draw 1, and one of your Digimon gets plus 2k for the turn. That's going to come up on the raid. It actually gives us plus 2k because the attack target switch, and it comes up when we block, we get plus 2k. We are trying to de-Digivolve as much as we can, but this is going to make sure that we are actually big enough to force the opponent into some more difficult decisions than we would if we were just base DP levels. We are also going to run 4 copies of the Analog Youth. It is really, really crucial for these DM decks. Starting your main phase, place a card from your hand face down as any of your DM trait Digimon's bottom sources, and then your turn, when face down cards are placed as any of your Digimon sources. By suspending this Tamer, you gain a memory, and if you have 7 or fewer in hand, you draw 1. So draws you memory, gains you memory, and then allows you to place sources face down under your Digimon. Then on the opponent's turn, all of your Digimon face down sources gain reboot, so that's going to pair really nicely with any blocking we want to do. We basically don't get punished for going in for aggressive pressure by giving us reboot and allowing us to block in the opponent's turn anyway. So that is what I'm doing with version 5 in BT22. Now that we have the Raidenmon Ace, I feel like the core is really well fleshed out. I really like playing it as version 5 tribal, but let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What are you doing in version 5? I know a lot of dedicated Cyborg players have some insights that I would love to hear in the comments down below. But that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.
Thank you to our channel members for supporting this channel. It's people like Langlong, Big Z11, Coffee Deus, and DigiDane who make videos like this possible.